Hey there, this is Kamal, and in this video we'll be looking at how we can optimize a WordPress based website, and also we'll see how we can decrease the page loading speeds so that you can have a better user experience. We'll be doing that on a freshly installed WordPress site, so you can see how the factors play into picture when creating a WordPress website itself. So with that out of the way, let's get this started. Alright, so first things first. In order to first understand how we can optimize the website, you need to first understand the factors which actually impact the page loading speeds. So there are 5 main factors that we have to consider when we look at the page loading speeds. The first one is the hosting provider or the hosting service, or the actual servers that you're using to host the WordPress website. The second one is going to be the theme that you're choosing for your website. The third one is how you're optimizing the images present inside your website. The fourth one is how you're managing your cache at server level as well as at browser level. And the fifth one is actually using a CDN network. So let's look at all of these terms one after the other. And the first one in that list is going to be choosing the right hosting provider or choosing the right server. So this plays a major part in the optimization of the WordPress website, and that is because let's say if you use your AWS account or GCP account or any of such platforms and create your own servers, and if you host your WordPress website on that, then you will have to manually intervene and install applications or things that you need to optimize that server's performance so that it's at peak level and it has everything ready and is mainly integrated towards WordPress. Okay, that is one thing. If you don't want to handle all of that tasks, then what you can do is that you can choose a hosting provider which is dedicated towards WordPress. There are many hosting providers out there, but choosing the right one is going to make a huge impact. There are 2 main things that you have to consider when choosing a WordPress provider. The first one is whether the hosting provider is providing you with servers which are optimized towards WordPress. The second one is whether they are using caching at server level as well so that it gives faster performance and is better suited for WordPress as well. These are 2 main factors that you have to consider. So there are many platforms out there that you can choose from, and the one that we're going to use in this particular video is called xCloud. So xCloud is a new hosting service on the market and it's mainly dedicated towards WordPress. So it has been built and optimized towards WordPress websites. So it's going to be a bit more easy to understand the interface as it's dedicated completely towards WordPress and it's not like a shared web hosting service. So this is the landing page for that. As of now, it is an early access and it hasn't been open for the public, but it will be open in a few days. So what I'll do is I'll be using the account which was shortlisted for the early access, and we'll see and we'll do a walkthrough of what's happening here. Alright, so now let me log into my own account. Alright, so if you're landing here for the first time, then you're gonna see 2 options for you available here. The first one is to add a new server, or the second one is to use your playground option. As of now, I've already given my payment details, so the playground option is not visible anymore. But if you just want to test out the platform and use the free services and see what's built inside of this, then you can go ahead with the playground version and you can just look at what's happening here and what it can offer. For now, what I'll do is I'll create a new server first. So basically, xCloud offers a free tier wherein you can create 1 server and install 10 sites inside of it. So for now, we'll be creating 1 server. So I'll click on add new. And once I do that, you'll see you'll be landing on a page wherein you have access to link to multiple accounts. So as of now, what I mean by that is if let's say I already have an account with Vulture or Google Cloud Platform or DigitalOcean, then I can directly link my xCloud account to any of my existing providers out there. So by that, what it means is that it's going to be seamlessly integrated between these 2 platforms, and the servers will be internally created at GCP and the billing will be done from GCP, but it will be managed by xCloud, and that will give you a lot more features which are not there at GCP, which is basically just a IaaS provider. It doesn't have the interface as dedicated towards WordPress as xCloud. So if you have not created any account as of now, what you can do is that you can go ahead and click on Vulture. So Vulture and xCloud have a collaboration wherein you'll be provided with around $100 free credit if you use the xCloud coupon that is available here, and I guess it's there for 180 days. So you can go ahead with that. But for this particular video, what I'll do is I'll just connect to my DigitalOcean account. So apart from doing that, what you can do is you can also choose for the hosting provider managed by xCloud itself. So basically you'll be paying xCloud for the service and they will be managing your server instead of doing it from Google Cloud Platform or AWS or something like that. So for now, I'll just click on DigitalOcean and I'll click on authorize on DigitalOcean. So it's asking for read and write access to my account. So I'll give that, and now it's connected. So the integration was pretty seamless, right? So that's how it is to actually get it correct. Right, so now what I'll do is I'll create a new server quickly. I'll choose the server size. I'll just go with the basic version, which is 1 CPU and 10 GB of SSD for it, and guess it's the most basic one. Yeah, that should suffice. Okay, I'll choose the region. Choosing the region is also one of the important factors when it comes to optimization of your website, and that is because, let's say you want to target an audience which is there in New York, then you ideally want your server to be located nearer to New York, so that whenever any customer tries to log into your website, the interaction between their system and our servers is pretty seamless and pretty fast because the servers are really nearby. Similarly, if you have your server somewhere else inside, let's say Europe, then what happens is the time delay will be, though it's minute, it will still be there. So ideally you want your servers located nearer to your target audience. All right. So for now, I'll just choose New York, and I guess I'll keep MySQL database 8.2. I will keep that as it is. Check the last option and click on next. So now it's starting to create a new droplet inside of DigitalOcean. So basically that's a server instance inside of DigitalOcean. So let's wait for that to complete. Alright, so once the server has been created, you can see a new panel opens up. And as you can see here, you have some options available for you. This is your IP address, your provider, your plan, and all those things. Apart from that, you also have your options available to actually create or install any WordPress website. So there are 5 options. The first one is to install a new WordPress website, which will actually just on click of button create one, or you can clone a Git repository which already has your WordPress website, or you can migrate an existing WordPress website which is already there to with some other service. Okay, then you can manually upload your WordPress website if you have it on your local system as well. Apart from that, you can also migrate your WordPress complete server as well. Like let's say if you have your WordPress website on a complete Ubuntu server, you can migrate that onto xCloud as well. So all of this can be done pretty easily with just few button clicks. So yeah, before going to that, let's actually understand the left hand side menu as well. You have your database options. You can click and create a new database and a database user as well. We'll not be doing that since WordPress will be handling that. You also have the option to create a new pseudo user, which you can use to log into your terminal as well. You also have your monitoring, wherein you have your RAM, CPU usage, and hard disk usage. So once your WordPress website is live, you can look at the stats here as well. You also have your logs. So if there are any errors that you want to debug, you don't need to log into your server directly through SSH. You can actually check it here as well. You also have your events. This is the things that you have done in the last 10 minutes. Then we have the PHP settings. As of now, I guess PHP is at the latest version. Yeah, it's at 8.1, but you can change it if you want. You also have your server management, and as you can see, we have Nginx and Redis. So basically we have the Nginx server. That means it's pretty fast, and also you have Redis installed. This is pretty useful because as far as you can see, xCloud has Redis installed, inbuilt inside of it. So it's basically installing Redis onto whichever server that you're using and utilizing that for WordPress, and that is actually going to make a bit of a difference when it comes to your WordPress websites. You also have your metadata, like your sites and servers information. Then you also have your generic settings as well. So for now, let's go back and let's click on install new WordPress website. So I'll give a site title to it. I'll create a new staging one. I don't want to deploy it right now, so I'll just give it a domain name. And as you can see, right off the bat, you have 2 options that you can use to enhance your WordPress website performance. The first one is full page caching, and second one is Redis object caching. So these 2 options will actually enable so that your server itself is optimized and the WordPress website is also optimized, and they're in sync so that your WordPress website performs better and delivers content really fast. So I'll leave these options checked and I'll not touch any advanced settings. Now let's click on next. That's going to start installing WordPress onto your server as well. So let's wait for that to finish. Alright, so once that is done, you'll be redirected back to your dashboard. And as you can see, a few things are updated here. So your site overview has your domain name, your other settings that you can check. So apart from these, few other settings were unlocked. So let's quickly go through that. So currently we are in the staging phase. If you want, you can go live by adding your own domain and linking your DNS as well. But for now, let's not do that. You also have your SSL. As of now, it's being managed by xCloud since we are using their domain. But yeah, if you have your own domain, and you can attach your SSL certificate as well. So in the update section, you can see that we are actually able to see the plugins that are actually installed onto WordPress. So you can manage your plugins from here and activate or deactivate them on the fly. You don't even need to log into your WordPress account to do this. So you also have your backup, you have your monitoring, you have your redirections. So if you already have a third domain that you want to redirect to this particular domain, then you can do that from here. You also have another one called WP config. This is a location where you actually have your WordPress config file. So you can actually edit this and save it so that your settings can be updated directly. You don't even need to log into your server to change this file, right? Then you have access details, wherein you can actually create a public key and link your system to this, and you can create a new terminal instance and log into your server, that is your DigitalOcean server as well. Then you have caching. This is the main section. As of now, as you can see, by default, whenever I install my WordPress website through xCloud, automatically it installs the caching related plugins onto WordPress directly. As of now, we have the option of enabling caching through FastCGI Nginx or WP Rocket, WP Super Cache, or W3 Total Cache. So based on your preference, you can go ahead with whatever option that you want. And as of now, I'll leave it as it is. You also have object cache, which is going to actually increase the performance as well, and it reduces the database load. So these are pretty neat features which are there out of the box in xCloud, which are dedicated so that your WordPress website is optimized. So this is what I was talking about when I meant choosing the right service, which offers servers which are better suited for WordPress websites, right? So now let's go back to the site overview. So let's now actually log into the website. So I'll click on Magic Login. Okay, so we have landed on the WordPress dashboard. So I guess most of you are pretty familiar with this. With this, we are done with the first part, that is actually choosing a service which is optimized for WordPress. Now the second thing that comes into picture is choosing a theme. So there are multiple themes that are available in WordPress, right? So if I go to the appearance and themes, so as of now we have the stock ones, but yeah, you can click and create or activate a new theme. So there are multiple themes that you can choose from, but among these themes there are some themes which are lightweight, some themes which are optimized so that they can give a better performance. So what you have to do is you have to figure out the themes which are better suited for your needs, and as well as they offer better performance. So there are multiple review videos out there online in YouTube and everywhere which are reviewing each and every theme, and they're giving their outputs on how the page speeds are impacted because of this particular theme. So what you have to do is basically create a list of themes that you like. Now based on that, research on those particular themes and figure out an order wherein you have the most optimized to least optimized, and based on your criteria, select a theme which is better suited for your needs, right? That is the main end goal of this particular video. So choosing that theme will play a bigger role, because some themes are really intensive and they will take a lot of time because you have to load a lot of scripts in the background. So you don't want any theme of such. You want to have a light theme which is good looking and optimized, and also easy for the user to understand and navigate in the UI interface. So at the top you have Elementor and Astra. So Astra is one pretty good theme, and Ocean WP is also one pretty good theme. So yeah, Astra, Ocean WP, Neve, and Bloxy is actually a pretty good theme wherein you can actually create that website completely in a different perspective other than like using Elementor or something else, right? Bloxy uses a different approach. So that is one. You also have some pretty new themes. You have Hestia, which is a pretty classic one, so you can go ahead with that as well. So your end goal is to figure out the theme which is better suited, which is having your needs fulfilled and also is optimized. So that is the second thing that you have to keep in mind. Now the third thing is figuring out how you can optimize your images. So images play a big role when it comes to website optimization, because let's say you have an image which is of, let's say, 5 MB or 10 MB. Loading that image on a 4G network is going to be really difficult, and it's going to take a lot of time. But let's say if you have a really small image, though the resolution is not compromised, if the size of that image was reduced, let's say it's around 0.5 MB, then the page loading speed is going to be exceptional, right? So that is what you want to have. So there are multiple plugins that you can opt for when it comes to optimizing your website's images. The one that I would suggest would be your basic one, which is the WP image. Oh, not this. Yeah. Yeah, so that is WP Optimize. This is one of the most sought out plugin which is used for optimizing your images and a lot of things. Apart from this, you also have Smush, which is also pretty popular one, or you also have Short Pixel, which is a really popular one, but I prefer going ahead with WP Optimize. So you can just click on install and then let's click on activate. Alright, so now let's go to this. Let's go to settings. Alright, so now let's go to images. As of now, I don't have any images since I haven't added any new images, but there are two things that you have to check here. So if you have the option to buy premium, go ahead and buy that, but I'll not go ahead with that. I'll just give you the basic stock version of it, which is pretty useful. Okay. So one feature that you have to enable is automatically compress newly added images. So whenever you upload any image on your website, automatically that will be compressed. And there are two options that you can choose: prioritize maximum compression or prioritize retention of detail. So what this is going to do is that it's going to compress the image as much as possible, even at the expense of loss of quality. But we don't want that. We don't want to lose any quality of the image. We just want to reduce it as much as possible, but still retain the original quality, right? So the second option is what we have to use, and that is there by default. Also, if you have an option of using WebP images, then go ahead with that. WebP image format is one format which is having the same quality as a JPEG or a PNG, but at a reduced image size. So WebP is an optimized version of all the image formats. So it's better suited for online websites as well. If it's possible for your, as of now, I guess every browser is supporting that by default. So all the latest browsers have WebP availability there. So you can go ahead and set this option as well. So this will replace all your images with WebP versions, and so that's going to reduce the page speed a lot. You also have options of enabling page cache. So yeah, you can enable this, and whenever any page is being created in your WordPress, that will be cached, so that whenever somebody opens that page for the second time, then they can have that page loaded even faster than before. You also have something like minify, wherein you can, minify your HTML, CSS and JavaScript files. So let's say if you're using custom JavaScripts or custom CSS, or you're using builders like Elementor or something like that, they will have huge CSS files, right? So you can enable this, and with this what happens is it's gonna optimize and compress your HTML, CSS and JS files so that they can load faster. So these are few features that you can enable to optimize your website. So that is the third thing. The fourth one is enabling the cache, which you've already seen. So you can enable page cache here. If you go to xCloud, you can see that we have already enabled the cache at server level as well. So all these things are already done. So you don't need to worry about that. All right. The last thing that you have to worry about is a CDN. So CDN basically stands for Content Delivery Network. So I've already previously said that when you want to choose the region of where your server needs to be, you have to choose the region which is nearer to your target audience. So let's say if I want to target the audience in India, then I want my server to be present nearer to India or inside of India, because by doing so, I can give my content faster compared to when I have the server at New York or somewhere else, right? So since it's not physically possible for me to actually buy and place servers at all these locations where my customers are from, what I can do is that I can use something called as a CDN, which is a Content Delivery Network. So what it means is that by registering to this CDN networks like Cloudflare, they will redirect my requests to the nearby servers which are there to the target audience. So basically what they do behind the scenes is that they create copies of your website and they keep it at the servers throughout the world. So whenever any person from India tries to access your website, then the server which is closer to India, which is managed by Cloudflare, will be giving out the response to the user so that they can have the website opened really fast compared to when I have my own server there in New York, right? So that's how CDN works. So in order to actually enable CDN, there are multiple platforms that you can use. The most popular and the widely used one is Cloudflare. And one advantage of using xCloud is xCloud already supports Cloudflare by default. So I just have to link my Cloudflare account to this. So if you go to the site overview, you see that there is a Cloudflare integration option here. So I can just link my Cloudflare API key and all to this xCloud service, and automatically they will be linked, and any request that comes to my website will go through Cloudflare and it will be given out to the end user. So in this way, you can optimize your website and increase the user's retention as well. So once you're done with all of these things, there should be a way wherein you can actually test whether these page speeds have increased or not, right? So what you do is pretty simple. You just first create your website using the stock things, and then you can go to a website called GTmetrix. So type in GTmetrix, open the first one. So this is a website analyzing tool which analyzes your page speeds. So let's say if I use something called YouTube. So I'll just copy the link, I'll go back, I'll paste it here. Now let's click on that. So it's gonna analyze. So what it's doing is that it's using a server present inside of Vancouver, Canada to give a response for this particular request. Okay, it seems like I have to log in to see the result. So I'll quickly log in here. Alright, so once I've logged in, you can see that it is giving out a score. So as of now, the grade is D, the performance is 46. What we want to look at is this largest contentful paint, which is 3.0 seconds, meaning for an end customer to actually see something on the screen, it's taking around 3.0 seconds. You can even see the image as well. So it's taking around 3.0 to 3.2 seconds for it to actually show something on the user screen so that they can interact with that. But it's taking around 8.6 seconds to completely load. So YouTube is a pretty huge website, so it will take a lot of time. You can see that JS is around 1.62 MB and images are around 571 KB. So, but still it's taking a lot of time. That is because YouTube is a pretty heavy website. So in this way, what you can do is that once you're done with creation of your website, you can send that here for GTmetrix test, and you can analyze what's happening. And once you've made all those changes that we have previously discussed, then you can rerun this and understand how much of a difference it has made by following all those things. Alright, so with that, we are done with this video, and I'm hoping you've actually gotten some useful content from this, wherein you can actually optimize your own websites as well. And as I've said previously, do check out xCloud as well. I'll be providing the link for that in the video description down below. You can go ahead, check it out, try the free version and see if it's up to your mark and if you can use it or not. Alright, so that's it for this video, guys. I hope you have liked what you've seen till now. If you did, then please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe as well. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.